Before you dismiss what you are about to hear, pause for a moment. Because what if the dreams you've been having are not random fragments of your imagination, but sacred whispers from heaven itself? What if, in the silence of your sleep, when the world is quiet and your guard is down, God is speaking directly to your spirit, calling you, marking you, choosing you for something far greater than you've ever imagined? There are moments in life when something deep within your soul begins to stir, an unexplainable awareness that your story holds more meaning, more purpose, more divine intention than what your eyes can currently see. And in those moments, when you lay your head down and drift into sleep, the veil between the natural and the spiritual becomes thin. And suddenly, a dream comes, not an ordinary dream that fades with the morning light, but one that lingers, one that grips your heart. One that follows you into your waking hours and whispers, "This means something." If you have ever awakened with that feeling, as if what you experienced in the night was more real than the day before, then understand this clearly. You are not imagining things, you are not overthinking, and you are certainly not alone, because throughout history, God has chosen to speak to his people in this very way. Not always through loud voices or visible signs, but often through dreams, through symbols, through encounters that bypass logic and speak directly to the spirit. And the truth is, he is still doing it today, even now, even with you. From the earliest pages of Scripture to the stories that shape our faith, we see a pattern that cannot be ignored. A divine strategy where God meets ordinary people in extraordinary ways through dreams, choosing them, guiding them, warning them, and preparing them for what lies ahead. Joseph dreamed and saw his future before he ever stepped into it. Daniel received visions that revealed mysteries beyond human understanding. And even in the New Testament, divine instructions were delivered through dreams that changed the course of history, proving that God does not wait for perfect conditions or public platforms to speak. He waits for stillness, for surrender, for the quiet moments when your spirit is open and ready to receive. And here is the reality that many overlook. When God begins to reveal things to you through dreams, it often won't make immediate sense. It may even feel confusing or overwhelming, but deep within, there will be a recognition, a subtle knowing that this is not ordinary, that this carries weight, that this is something sacred, and that feeling is not accidental. It is confirmation that your spirit recognizes his voice even when your mind is still trying to understand it. There are dreams that are random, yes, but there are also dreams that are divine, dreams that carry purpose, dreams that are meant to awaken something within you, to pull you out of complacency and into calling, to show you glimpses of what God has prepared for your life. And if you have experienced dreams that feel bold, symbolic, recurring, or deeply emotional, then you must not ignore them, because those are often the moments where heaven is reaching into your life, marking you, calling you, setting you apart in ways that others may not see or understand. And this is not superstition. This is not imagination. This is spiritual reality rooted in truth. And when you begin to recognize it, everything changes, because you start to realize that your life is not ordinary, your path is not random, and your experiences are not meaningless. The first type of dream that often reveals a divine calling is the dream of climbing or ascending. And there is something undeniably powerful about finding yourself rising higher in a dream, climbing a mountain, walking up endless stairs, or ascending into places that feel elevated and unreachable in your waking life. Because in the language of the Spirit, elevation is never just about movement. It is about transformation, about promotion, about being called into something greater. And when you see yourself going higher in a dream, it is often a sign that God is inviting you into a new level of spiritual growth, a deeper relationship with Him, and a greater responsibility in your purpose. Consider the story of Jacob. who, in a moment of isolation and uncertainty, laid his head on a stone and fell asleep, only to see a ladder stretching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending upon it. And at the top stood the Lord himself, speaking promises and destiny over his life. And in that single dream, Jacob received a revelation that changed everything, because he realized that heaven was not distant. It was open over him, and that he was not forgotten, he was chosen. And in the same way, when you dream of climbing, it is not just a visual experience. It is a spiritual message declaring that you are being lifted, that you are being called upward, that your life is being aligned with something higher than where you have been. But here is the part that requires understanding. Climbing is not easy. It is not comfortable, and it is not effortless, because elevation always demands endurance. It requires strength, persistence, and often separation. And if God is showing you yourself climbing, it may also be his way of preparing you for the journey ahead, reminding you that the path to purpose is not always smooth, that there will be moments of struggle, moments where you feel stretched, challenged, even isolated. But in those moments, you must remember that you are not climbing alone. Because the same God who is calling you higher is walking with you every step of the way. Elevation also comes with a cost, and sometimes that cost looks like losing certain relationships, letting go of old habits, or stepping away from environments that once felt comfortable, because you cannot carry everything with you into the place God is taking you. And while that may feel painful, it is also necessary, because refinement is part of the process. And God will always remove what cannot sustain you at the level He is preparing you for. And if you begin to notice shifts in your life alongside these dreams, understand that it is not coincidence. It is alignment. It is preparation. It is the hand of God shaping you for something greater. And there is something else you must not overlook. You do not climb unless there is something worth reaching, and the enemy does not oppose those who are going nowhere, which means that if you are experiencing these kinds of dreams, if you are seeing yourself rising, striving, ascending, then it is a sign that your life carries significance, that your purpose has weight, and that there is something ahead of you that the enemy would rather you never reach. But the very fact that you are dreaming of climbing is evidence that God has already placed something within you that is worth pursuing, something that is worth fighting for, something that is worth rising into. So do not dismiss these dreams. Do not reduce them to imagination, because they are often the beginning of revelation, the first glimpse of a journey that God is inviting you to take, a journey that will require faith, courage, and obedience, but will ultimately lead you into the fullness of what you were created for. And if you have seen yourself climbing, ascending, reaching higher in your dreams, then hear this clearly. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being called. You are being elevated. And heaven itself is drawing near to you, preparing you for something that is far greater than you have yet understood. And this is only the beginning of what God is revealing over your life. Now listen closely, because the next kind of dream is one that many people fear, misunderstand, and even try to forget. Yet spiritually, it carries one of the strongest signals that your life is not ordinary, and that is the dream of being chased. The kind of dream where you find yourself running, hiding, looking over your shoulder, feeling as though something is after you, something unseen yet terrifyingly real. And when you wake up, your heart is racing, your breath is heavy, and a sense of urgency lingers in your spirit, and you may ask yourself, why do I keep seeing this? Why does it feel so intense? But here is the truth that changes everything. These dreams are not always a sign of weakness. They are often a sign of significance, because in the spiritual realm, pursuit is not random. It is intentional, and when something is chasing you, it means something about you is worth chasing. If you look at the life of King David, you will see a pattern that reveals this clearly. Because David was not an ordinary man. He was anointed, chosen, set apart by God long before he ever sat on a throne. And yet his life was marked by pursuit, by being hunted, by being chased by enemies who sought to destroy him. And the reason was not because David was weak, but because David carried something powerful, something divine, something that threatened the plans of darkness. And in the same way, when you experience dreams of being chased, it may not be because you are vulnerable, but because you are valuable, because there is something within you that the enemy recognizes even when you do not fully understand it yourself. These dreams often represent spiritual warfare, a reality that many ignore but cannot escape, because your life exists not only in the physical world, but also within a spiritual dimension where purpose, calling, and destiny are constantly being contested. And when God begins to place his hand upon your life, when he begins to prepare you for something greater, it draws attention, not only from heaven, but also from forces that would prefer you remain unaware, distracted, or discouraged. And this is why these dreams can feel so intense, because they are revealing a deeper truth. Your life carries weight, your calling carries impact, and your presence carries influence, even before you step fully into it. But here is the part that you must hold on to, the part that brings peace in the middle of fear. If you are being chased in your dream and you wake up before being caught, if you escape, if you survive, if you remain unharmed, then it is not just a dream, it is a message. It is a declaration that you are protected, that you are covered, that no matter how close the threat feels, it does not have the authority to overtake you, because God is not only calling you, he is guarding you. He is not only revealing your purpose, he is defending it, and even in the realm of dreams. He is showing you that what is meant for you cannot be stolen, cannot be destroyed, cannot be taken away by fear. Sometimes these dreams are also an awakening, a call to awareness, a reminder that your life is not casual, that your decisions carry weight, that your spiritual sensitivity matters, and that you cannot afford to live disconnected from the deeper reality of who you are and what you carry. Because when you begin to understand that even opposition has purpose, that even resistance is evidence of significance, then fear begins to lose its grip and clarity begins to take its place. Because you realize that the battle is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are advancing, that you are stepping into something that matters, something that requires preparation, strength, and alignment with God. So instead of running from these dreams, begin to respond to them, not with panic, but with prayer, not with confusion, but with discernment. Because they are not meant to terrify you, they are meant to train you, to sharpen your awareness, to push you closer to God, to remind you that you are not just existing, you are being prepared. And the very fact that you are being pursued is proof that your life carries purpose, that your destiny carries weight, and that your calling is something the enemy would rather you never fully realize. But God is revealing it to you anyway, even in your sleep, even in your dreams, even in the moments when you feel most vulnerable, because his plan for you is greater than any fear that tries to follow you. Now let us move into the next type of dream, one that carries a completely different atmosphere, yet is equally powerful. And that is dreams involving water, because water in the spiritual language is never just water. It is layered, symbolic, alive with meaning. And when it appears in your dreams, it is often carrying a message that goes far deeper than what you see on the surface. Because water represents life, cleansing, renewal, and sometimes even transition, and depending on how it appears, it can reveal what God is doing within you and around you. If you have ever dreamed of clear, flowing water, peaceful rivers, or endless oceans that feel calm and inviting, then understand that this is often a sign that God is drawing you closer, calling you into a deeper relationship with him, inviting you to be filled, refreshed, and renewed in ways that go beyond the physical. Because just as water sustains life in the natural, the presence of God sustains your spirit. And when He shows you water in its purest form, it is often His way of saying, "Come closer. Go deeper, there is more for you to experience, more for you to receive, more for you to understand." But not all water appears calm, and sometimes you may find yourself dreaming of storms, rising tides, or murky waters that feel overwhelming. And in those moments, it is easy to assume that something is wrong, that something is out of place. But spiritually, even these dreams carry purpose, because they often reflect seasons of testing, moments where your faith is being stretched, where your emotions are being stirred, where God is allowing certain things to surface so that they can be dealt with, cleansed, and ultimately transformed. And just as the flood in Noah's time brought both destruction and renewal, these dreams may be revealing that God is washing away what no longer belongs in your life, preparing you for a new beginning that requires a clean foundation. There are also moments when water in your dreams becomes an obstacle, something that stands in your way, something that feels impossible to cross. And in those moments, you must remember the stories that define faith, the Red Sea that parted when there seemed to be no way forward, the Jordan River that opened as the people stepped in with obedience. And these are not just historical events. They are spiritual patterns, reminders that when God is involved, what seems impossible becomes a pathway. What seems like a barrier becomes a breakthrough. And if you are dreaming of water in this way, it may be a sign that you are standing on the edge of something significant, something that requires trust, something that requires faith, something that requires you to step forward even when you cannot see the outcome. So do not ignore these dreams, do not brush them aside, because whether the water is calm or chaotic, whether it invites you or challenges you, it is carrying a message. It is revealing a process. It is showing you that God is actively working in your life, cleansing, renewing, guiding, and preparing you for what lies ahead. And if He is revealing these things to you, it is because He is drawing you closer, because He is calling you deeper, because He is choosing you to experience something that goes beyond the surface. Something that touches the very core of who you are and who you are becoming. And this is not random. This is intentional. This is divine. And this is part of the unfolding story that God is writing through your life. Now, as we continue deeper into this revelation, there is another kind of dream that carries a sacred intensity, a quiet yet undeniable power that cannot be ignored. And that is when light appears in your dreams, because throughout all of Scripture, light has never been ordinary. It has always been a signature of God's presence, His truth, His revelation breaking into darkness. And when light shows up in your dream, it is not decoration, it is declaration. It is heaven communicating that something is being revealed, something is being illuminated, something is being made clear that was once hidden. From the very beginning, when God spoke and said, "Let there be light," light became the first evidence of divine order entering chaos. And from that moment forward, light has always symbolized clarity, direction, and truth. And when Jesus declared, "I am the light of the world," He was not speaking metaphorically alone. He was revealing that wherever He is, darkness cannot remain, confusion cannot survive, and deception cannot. Unclear, He is still leading you, still guiding you, still making a way where there seems to be none. And this is not just symbolic, it is deeply personal. Because it speaks directly to your journey, to your questions, to your need for direction. There are also moments when the light in your dream feels overwhelming, radiant, almost too powerful to look at. And while this may feel intense, it is often a sign of divine encounter, a moment where God is revealing His presence in a way that goes beyond words, similar to the experience of Saul on the road to Damascus, when a great light from heaven surrounded him and changed the course of his life forever, transforming him from who he was into who he was called to be. And when you experience light in this way, it may be a sign that you are standing at the edge of transformation, that something within you is about to shift, that your understanding, your identity, your purpose is about to be revealed in a way that changes everything. Light in dreams can also carry instruction, subtle yet powerful guidance that leads you forward. Because just as a lamp lights the path in darkness, God uses light to show you where to step, what to choose, what to release, and what to pursue. And if you have been seeking answers, if you have been asking for clarity, then these dreams may be the response, not always in direct words, but in images, in moments, in experiences that your spirit understands even when your mind is still processing. And this is why you must pay attention, because what feels simple on the surface may carry profound meaning beneath it. And here is something that makes this even more significant. Darkness cannot coexist with light, which means that when God begins to show you light in your dreams, it is often because He is exposing something, revealing truth where there was deception, bringing awareness where there was ignorance, lifting the veil on things that were hidden. And this can be both comforting and challenging, because revelation often requires response. It calls you to act, to change, to align yourself with what has been shown. And while that may feel uncomfortable at times, it is also a sign of trust. Because God reveals truth to those He is preparing, to those He is calling, to those He knows are ready to carry it. So if you have seen light in your dreams, do not ignore it. Do not dismiss it as imagination, because it may be one of the clearest signs that God is speaking to you, guiding you, revealing something that you need to see, something that you need to understand, something that will shape your next steps and align your life with His purpose. And the very fact that He is showing it to you is evidence that you are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are chosen to receive what others may not yet see. And with that comes both responsibility and opportunity. The responsibility to seek Him for deeper understanding, and the opportunity to walk in the clarity that He is providing. Now let us move into another powerful type of dream, one that carries authority, responsibility, and divine trust, and that is the dream of being given keys. Because in the spiritual realm, keys are never just objects. They are symbols of access, of power, of responsibility. And when you see yourself holding a key, receiving a key, or unlocking something with a key in your dream, it is not random. It is a message that carries weight, a message that speaks directly to your role, your calling, and your authority in what God is preparing you for. Keys represent access, the ability to enter places that were once closed, to understand things that were once hidden, to step into opportunities that were once out of reach. And when God places keys in your hands, even in a dream, it is often a sign that He is opening doors for you, doors of understanding, doors of influence, doors of purpose that align with what He has called you to do. And this is not something to take lightly, because access always comes with responsibility. It requires wisdom, discernment, and faithfulness in how you use what has been given to you. But keys are not only about opening, they are also about stewardship. Because when you are given a key, you are being trusted with something valuable, something that must be protected, something that must be handled with care, and this may represent a calling, a gift, a responsibility that God is placing in your life, something that others may not see or understand, but something that carries significance in the spiritual realm. And when you begin to recognize this, You realize that these dreams are not just symbolic. They are instructional. They are preparing you to handle what is coming, to walk in authority with humility, to step into purpose with awareness. Sometimes in these dreams, you may find yourself unlocking doors that lead to unexpected places, ancient rooms, hidden spaces, or environments that feel unfamiliar yet important. And this is often a sign that God is inviting you into deeper understanding, into mysteries that are not accessible to everyone, into areas of spiritual growth and revelation that require readiness and willingness. And if you are experiencing this, it is a sign that your journey is moving beyond the surface, that you are being called into depth, into purpose, into a level of awareness that will shape how you live, how you think, and how you respond to what God is doing in your life. And here is the powerful truth that you must not overlook. Keys also have the ability to close, which means that part of your authority may involve shutting doors, ending cycles, removing access to things that no longer belong in your life. And this is just as important as opening new ones, because sometimes progress requires separation. Sometimes growth requires closure. And when God gives you keys, He is not only giving you opportunity, He is giving you discernment, the ability to know what to allow and what to release, what to embrace and what to leave behind. So if you have seen keys in your dreams, understand that this is not random. This is not coincidence. This is a sign that heaven is entrusting you with something, that your life carries responsibility, that your calling carries authority, and that God is preparing you to step into a role that requires awareness, faith, and obedience. And the very fact that He is revealing this to you is confirmation that you are not just observing your life. You are being positioned within it, chosen to carry something that has purpose, something that has impact, something that has eternal significance. And this is only continuing to unfold as you begin to recognize the depth of what God is showing you.